Hello and welcome to the OK Show. How are you doing today? We're going to be talking today about the gift of life with the Canadian Blood Services Association. We got a conversation about brain injury and concussions going on. And we got an amazing information seminar for you from the Vernon Museum. I'm going to have a little bit of a word from the food bank for feeding the need. Stay tuned on the OK Show.
Here with Gail from Canadian Blood Services and Gary, who is a frequent donator of blood with Canadian Blood Services. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you.
So Gail, I think I'm going to start right away asking you, we constantly hear about the ongoing need for donations of blood. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Absolutely. So the need for blood is constant and it really never goes away. Blood does have a shelf life of 42 days. So we constantly need to be replenishing the system, and so we always have a great need for donors. So donors that have maybe been in before, or also new donors that we're inviting to come in for the first time.
Wonderful. So who can donate? Are there people that you prefer to come in? Are there age restrictions on donations?
You know what, you only have to actually be 17 or older to donate. We actually removed our upper age limit about a couple years ago, and so anybody 17 or older can actually go online to blood.ca and take our eligibility quiz before coming in to see if they're eligible to donate, and we welcome everybody through our doors.
Wonderful. And that's not just individuals, right? I understand that you welcome companies and organizations and even have some competitions going on?
We do. So we're always encouraging groups to challenge one another. So if you have a competitor or you have a colleague in a different office and you want to just say, you know what, we're going out to give blood, how about you guys join us or see whose team can bring in the most donors? So have a little fun with it. And we always are looking for new companies to come in and join us and just have some fun. Come as a group and make it a team building activity.
Wonderful. So I'm going to talk to you, Gary, a little bit. So I understand you have donated blood 77 times?
And counting.
And counting. So what motivated you to start donating blood and what keeps you going back?
Well, it was a long time ago that the first time I gave. I was in the Army. My parents have always raised me to be conscious about what goes on around my neighborhood and how I can get involved. And so this is just one of those easy ways of getting involved, helping the community. But right now, for me, it's all that more important. My wife had open heart surgery a few years ago. And so giving back blood is just an opportunity to continue to help.
Sure, yeah. That touches close to home, obviously. How does it feel just like leaving the donation center and knowing what an impact you've made on other people's lives?
Be honest with you, that doesn't come across. For me, it's a matter of I go and I give the blood. I know that it's going to help. The thinking about where it goes and what it's just not something I.
Out of your hands at
that point.
It's
out of my hands.
You've done your duty.
I've done my thing to help.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I know that you can't donate every week. How long can you go before you redonate? And then maybe some math here, how long have you been actually donating? How many years has it been?
So males can actually donate every 56 days, and females can donate every 84 days. So it can take a bit of time. Gary's very committed, sure. So it's taken him a number of years, so he can speak to that maybe.
I honestly can't remember when I gave blood the first time, but I was in the Army for quite a few years, and there were places I was stationed, places I was sent that precluded my ability for quite a bit of time during that, so I couldn't give blood. Mm-hmm. So now it's, but the only time I don't give blood is during the summertime when I go training. And so I stay away from the clinics then, but this time of year I'm there every opportunity I can.
Wonderful. So how many people can a single donation help? If Gary goes in one day, how many people is that affecting potentially?
You know, up to 3 people can save, every donation saves up to 3 lives. And so depending on what the blood is used for, or which it's broken down into components to save lives. The biggest thing people don't know is that, you know, maybe their families have been touched by the need for blood. And so maybe they've had somebody go through cancer in their family, or someone like Gary's family has gone through heart surgery, or maybe been in a car accident. And typically a lot of those patients do need blood. And so I think it's just a way for people to say, you know, my family's taken from the system, and so it's a way for them to give back by just coming in and donating and giving back to even someone they don't know.
Sure. So if somebody wants to donate and they go online, they take the eligibility quiz, and they are not eligible, are there other ways for them to get involved?
Absolutely. So they can come in and volunteer. So we have lots of volunteers inside our clinics, and then we have lots of volunteers that work with us out in the community. They'll go into offices, we do presentations, or we'll just speak to the need for donating to anybody, sort of any office. And so there's lots of ways they can help and get involved. So all they have to do is just ask, and we'll put them set them in the right direction.
Wonderful. And so that, I'm assuming, includes a training session, and you get them all set up.
Absolutely.
Start to finish.
So yeah, we have an amazing training program, and so we give them an overview of what they need to know, sort of to be working in the clinic or out in the community, and just helping them so that they're actually giving out good information to the public as well. If somebody's coming and asking a question, and they can share that information and bring in donors, and that's their way to help. If they're not eligible themselves, then they can you know, do good by helping others to come in and donate.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for coming in. Can people go to a website to find out more?
Absolutely. So blood.ca, or they can download our Give Blood app or call 1-882-DONATE, and they can book an appointment. It's open 24 hours a day.
Easy as that. Someone's got to catch up to Gary here. All right. Well, thank you again both for coming in. I think we're going to throw it to Leila now, see what she's got for us.
If I were a bird, I wonder how high up I'd fly. Would I try to be the queen of the sky? If I were a tree, I wonder how tall I would be. Would I compete with those above me? If I were the moon, I wonder what glue, what love, what room I'd fetch. If I were a cup of coffee, I wonder how hot I'd get. Would I boil, or would I toil and forget? Waves roll in, waves roll out. I need one so strong that I can cast my doubt into the sea. Stand and solidly, love so pure on the shore, and I'm free. Waves roll in, waves roll out. I need one so strong that I can cast my doubt into the sea. Stand and solidly on the shore, love so pure and free.
My goodness, that was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Lila, is Neverland your actual last name? No. Obviously not. That's your stage name, right?
Yeah.
So this is Lila Neverland. Can you describe to everybody where you got the inspiration for the song you just sang? Because I have no idea, but that struck some chords.
Thank you. That song is just about moving through mass amounts of change
Yeah.
And the waves have changed. They come in and out. like
Which we
the
all
ocean.
go through,
Yeah,
hey?
totally.
What inspires your music?
Life.
A little bit of life.
Yeah, a little bit of life, a little bit of
relationships and things that we go through.
yeah, things.
Yeah. How long have you been playing music?
Since I was 3.
Right on. 3 years old. I played piano since I was 5, so
Yeah.
you're ahead of
So you
me.
got chops.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some of your favorite artists?
Oh my goodness. I like the old jazz ladies, Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
So do you perform locally that people can see you in the area?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. My trio, Mountain Sound, and I are releasing our first album this Saturday at Fernando's.
Mountain Sound. This
Yeah.
Saturday, which
Yeah.
would be the 28th.
27th.
27th.
Yeah.
All right. If people see it by then, hopefully
Yes,
everyone
maybe.
was going to be there. Who else is in your group? The trio.
Nils Lowen plays the cello, and Dylan Ranney is an artist, and he does percussion.
That is incredible. Well, if you see this by the 28th, check them out at Fernando's. What time?
The 27th at 10 p.m. at Fernando's,
27th
yeah.
at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Fernando's. And we're going to go over to Lucy right now.
Thanks, Eric. And I am joined with Magda from the Brain Trust Canada. And I have full disclosure, I have a personal vested interest in interviewing you today because I had no idea you existed. And what isn't common knowledge, I actually went through an injury 7 months ago now, and I suffered a severe concussion. And I just want to know, how do I get in touch with your association? Like, what services are available? And go. I am making notes. Fill me in.
Well, I'm sorry about your concussion, and it's so common. We hear it so often. Brain Trust has actually been around since 1986, and we started because there was a need to help people with brain injury, and concussion really is another word for brain injury. It's mild traumatic brain injury, and so people struggle every day, and sometimes, you know, you get over it, you get through it, and sometimes not. So Brain Trust Canada, we want to help people. We've been helping people for over 30 years. So braintrustcanada.com, certainly our website has a lot of resources on it. We do a lot of awareness. I speak in the schools. We want to instill habits for prevention at an early age.
I think that's a really key point there, is that we're just so lacking in education about what a concussion truly is. And we're so
Yes.
quick to use that word concussion. And I was one of those people. I remember it took a week for me to actually be diagnosed. And even prior to being in emergency and then having a CT scan, I was like, oh yeah, I think I've got a concussion. I'm gonna be irritable for like 2 days. Don't worry about it, we'll be fine. And here I am 7 months later, and I'm still suffering significantly with those symptoms. And it's one of those things where it's like a concussion, like any injury, can have a magnitude of different meanings, and I think it's identifying that it's a significant brain trauma and a brain
Yes.
injury.
Yes, and our brains control everything. Our brains control our personality, our breathing, our walking, our talking, and people don't really think about that. They just go on their daily lives, and they say we don't think about the thing that we think with, right? Because we don't think that these sort of things will happen to us. And sometimes it's just, you know, a dog running in front of you and you fall, or there's some gravel on the road and you're not wearing your helmet. And helmets can prevent up to 85% of brain injuries, but not 100%.
And that's the thing too. Like, it doesn't have to be a significant impact. For me, it definitely wasn't. It was a very minor injury by my own standpoint. I was like, fine, I hit my head, I was doing a dance lift. It was the easiest dance lift ever, and I'm actually like, oh my gosh, of all the things I have done in my life, like skydiving and all these things, and I'm like, that was how I got a concussion, and I'm still suffering 7 months later. And I think it's just trying to explain that to people. Is like, no, it didn't have to be I fell on my face on concrete.
Right,
And
exactly.
it can still have a big impact on someone's life.
Yes.
And then identifying symptoms.
Yes.
I had every excuse in the book for every symptom I was experiencing. From headaches, I was dehydrated, forgetfulness, oh, I'm just busy right now. So what are some of the tools that we can access at the Brain Trust to help us with those symptoms and identifying them and recognizing what's actually at play?
Yeah. Well, rest, first of all, just as a
a general answer to your question, rest is so important. So if you've hit your head, I mean, seek medical attention if you think that it's serious. Don't go back to playing sports because a concussion can often heal in 7 to 10 days, but certainly we can help you. We can help people who have sustained injury, and please come see us because that's what we're there for. We've been doing it for over 30 years and we have lots of staff that are trained.
Perfect. And what are some of the services that are available and
Absolutely.
to us as the public? Because honestly, I hate to say, I'd never heard of you, and it wasn't
okay.
until it was
I'm glad
presented.
I'm here.
I know. I was like, yes, I want to interview her. I want to speak, and I will definitely be chatting to you after this too. But what are some of those services that are accessible and that can help people such as myself on this journey that we're trying to go through currently?
Well, in terms of concussion, we are working on actually a new concussion recovery program, and so that is for recovery. Now, for our majority of our clients, brain injury is something that a lot of people have for their life. And so we help maximize their independence. We bring quality to their life. Sometimes we're their only support. Personality changes, things can happen after a brain injury and people are not necessarily the same. But the thing is, we are there. Brain Trust is there and can certainly help. So, just call upon us.
I think it's a key point that you noted about personality can change, and a big part of my journey is trying to identify those symptoms, because I definitely noticed in myself I'm pretty relaxed, but there's that moment where that trigger goes and you're like, I'm angry about this, and then like 10 minutes later you're like, how embarrassing, that's not a big deal, and there's no logical reason for it. And I find people try to help and they're like, oh no, you're fine, or I've been through this, and I get it. And I think every brain injury, not just concussions, like you said, they're so different.
Yes.
And I think
it's an invisible thing too.
Yes.
Right? And people will say, well, Lucy, you look the same. Right. And that's the thing, because people don't really understand it unless it's happened to them.
Well, I thank you for taking the time to come to chat with us today. And you can find out more information online. But now we're going to head over to the Vernon Museum, which has recently ramped up its services in the community. It's now available for events and educational outreach.
The Vernon Museum and Archives has a variety of things to offer the community. We act as a repository for all of the artifacts, as well as everything archival, all the paperwork, photographs, and so we are a curated storage of our past. And so if you're looking for information about your family, about your home, if you're curious why Vernon is located exactly where it is, you come to us. But we also act as a liaison, a facilitator, to tell stories and to tell different stories from different perspectives, from different people in our past.
And so we really want to kind of touch everybody in the community, in the sense that we really want to represent everyone in the community. So we'll also be doing a lot more outreach and having a lot more multicultural programming here.
We work with artists and we work with authors, and we work with Michelle Lowry, who does the murals in town. People that are interested in our history and communicating that in different ways. So that's one of our primary goals for people that are seeking knowledge, but we also go out and offer information and knowledge. So my job is the educational coordinators. I go to schools, but I also go and organize adult activities as well, because we all learn different ways. I think the museum can be a source for just about everybody, because everybody has an area of interest. And Vernon's history is long enough, and it's quirky enough, and it's interesting enough that we will have something that tweaks somebody's fascination. I think for most of us, it's the individuals and the characters and maybe our family, or whether there's some kind of connection. We can find that. Talk to us and we'll see if we can find something that will appeal to you in particular.
Hello there, I'm Anita Reimer, and I'm here with Lynetta Perry, the Executive Director of the Kelowna Food Bank. Lynetta, the Kelowna Food Bank has done tremendous things to carry out its vision of creating a healthy, hunger-free community. Lynetta, what are some of the wonderful things, we're just coming off of Christmas, what are some of the wonderful things that the food bank was able to do during the Christmas season?
Yeah, our Christmas season is a really special time of the year. With the help of our community, we were able to distribute over 2,000 Christmas hampers. And so what those hampers do is they make sure that everyone has a nice Christmas meal on their table, and then we serve about 1,100 children. So we made sure about 1,100 kids had gifts and toys under their Christmas tree on Christmas morning. And so it's about making those memories special for people who are just struggling at a time of need. And, you know, it's really a community effort, Christmas at the food bank. Anyone who comes down there, we've got, you know, an army of volunteers. We have a mountain of food and resources. We have people driving people home with their hampers, and we have Santa Claus coming and visiting the kids in the line. And so we try to make it a really cheerful time to come down and give out some of that Christmas cheer and extend it out into the community for people who are in need.
Wow, that's so amazing, and that's such a wonderful time of year and a time to make a difference.
Absolutely.
So going forward, now that we're post-Christmas, what are some things that the food bank needs, the community needs, moving forward into the new year?
Yeah, so it's important for the community to remember. I mean, a lot of people remember the food bank at Christmas, you know, and people want to give at Christmas. But it's important for people to remember that the food bank is a year-round organization. We serve about 4,000 people every single month. 33% of those are kids under the age of 15, 12% are seniors on fixed incomes. And so there are people in our community who are struggling. So it's important for people to remember that we are here year round and we're always in need of food and funds and volunteers to make it all happen.
Yeah, people always need to eat.
Yeah, you know, and we provide about a 5 to 7 day supply of food, and so once every 30 days. So typically when people come to see us, they're really struggling with a major decision. They're making the decision, do I feed my children or pay the rent? Do I buy food or do I keep the lights on? And so we make it possible for people, we give them the food so that they can stay housed, they can keep their lights on, they can buy the medications they need and things like that. So they're really at a crossroads by the time they come to see us.
Wow. That's so amazing that you're here to help and the difference that you are making in the community. I've heard that you are expanding and you're getting a new building, a new location. Tell us about that.
The rumor is true. The rumor is true. Yeah, so we're really excited about it. Our new building is going to be on Enterprise near the Rayburn Marine, kind of kitty corner to the fire hall. So it's a brand new building, or not a brand new building, but it's a new building for us. And we're really excited about it because it's about double the size of our current location. It's got 2 loading docks. It's got about 4 times the freezer and cooler capacity. It's got parking. It's central. Wow. It's going to be a really great location for both our donors and our clients. And so we're really excited about the move.
Wow. Now, I heard you were also going to implement a new strategy or a new way of handing this out, the grocery store concept. Tell us about that. That's fabulous.
Yes, another rumor that's true. So with this new building came an opportunity for us to change the way we do food banking. And so what we're going to be implementing is a new model of food banking where it's going to look more like a grocery store. So there's going to be reach-in coolers and reach-in freezers, and there's going to be aisles that our clients can go up and down and fill up a grocery cart similar to you would in a grocery store. And I have to tell you, like, I've worked at the food bank for 13 years. And when you consider 33% are kids and 12% are seniors, we're really hoping that this new model will make people feel a little bit better about coming to the food bank. It's already hard enough that they have to make that decision to come. Now we want to make it a little bit more dignified. We want to preserve self-esteem and self-worth so that mom can leave the food bank and go do that job interview and feel good about herself, and kids won't hate coming, and there's a little bit more choice. And so we're really excited about this new opportunity. I hope it's something that this community is going to be proud of, and I hope that it's a model that other food banks can look to for inspiration.
Yeah, it sounds like so much more empowering for people. Great. And tell us, how can people get involved, either volunteering or donating?
Lots of ways to get involved. Kind of the best way to get involved with us is to visit us online year-round at cofoodbank.com, and people can visit online and check out our volunteer needs, our most needed items. They can check out what our upcoming events are and get engaged and participate, and just know that we truly cannot exist. We could not serve, we could not help one family or one child without this community supporting the work that we do.
Thank you so much, Lynetta. Thank you for joining us here on the OK Show. And now, back to Leila.
Had a conversation with a tree. They said we're not one, but we're we. They waved their branches gently, and then they smiled at me. They said to pursue what you've made. They said the goddess lives in retrograde. They said to be true to your heart. It's a path upon which you can take part. Yes, I learned from the wise. They tell me it's all a disguise. One big refraction of light. One big comet on a dark ocean night. As I turn myself back towards east, I asked to see a great horned beast. Not seconds later, standing in front of me. Oh, a great buck stood casually. He said, when I turn towards the west, won't you be kind and pick up a vest, so that you can look your very best as you're standing on the crest. Yes, I learned from the wise. They tell me it's all a disguise. One big refraction of light. One big comet on a dark ocean night. Yes, the trees continue to thrive. It's a swan swimming out of their dive. Oh, the howling far-off cries makes you remember that we're still alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Leila. Thank you so much for watching our show today. My name is Eric Cherkoff. I'm your host, and we'll see you next time on The OK Show.